Welcome to Total Fitheads.
Serious fitness for not so serious people. What?
You said ready to go, and then it was recording in progress.
Sorry, did you need to check Instagram?
I needed to check myself. Doing great. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, rolling. Hi, Max.
Hey, Spagnola, how you doing?
I'm good. You're the only person that calls me that.
Really? I feel like it's a really great nickname.
No, it's not. It's terrible.
Why?
Because it's just the beginning of my last name mixed with the end of Agatha.
It was
Okay.
Spagnola all along. You know what I mean?
You were calling me that before that song and show ever existed. That's pretty funny.
Wow, I guess I should be a writer for a Marvel show. Hey, Marvel, call me. Jeez Louise.
Hit him up.
Yeah, just slide into the DMs, I think. That's probably... I don't want my phone number out there. I just watched Scream. Oh, my God. Scared the hell out of me.
Is there a phone thing in Scream?
Have you never seen Scream 1? We're on Scream 5 specs. You might want to figure it out.
5? How much stabbing in a mask can we do?
There was some movie, I forget what it was, but I think it was Spider-Man, the original, the Toby ones, and they were sort of parodying it. And the guy said, "I'm gonna kill you, Spider-Man." And Spider-Man goes, "You're gonna kill me? This is my third movie. We're on Spider-Man Trace, amigo. I don't think I'm getting killed. I think we're just gonna be cranking these out and cranking them out." I'm like, yeah, it's a good call. It's a good call, dude. But anyway,
that's
Scream
the trick
5.
to staying alive is be the protagonist in your own life.
Very good. Very good. That's also motivational, very common motivational tact, as I understand it. Picture your life. You're the hero in the beginning of
things that suck. Yeah.
Well, but you're the hero in the beginning of the story, and you got to go through your training montage, and you got to,
Do you know the story structure?
Do I? I don't know. Do you?
Yeah, they're all the same. It's the same thing. You have the rising action and the point of no return. Now your sketches on YouTube are going to be good all of a sudden.
I know. Really cinematic and epic storytelling for a really convoluted fart joke there, Max. But yeah, I'm in. You know, what are you gonna do?
Love it. Anyway, wait, what were we even talking about?
I don't know.
Okay.
Scream, and then what was before Scream? Oh, telephone. Oh. Calling something? I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, Marvel was gonna call you. Whatever.
Anyway, your name. That's where we started this incredibly interesting, intricate story thread. Your name.
Max Smart. That's what I should keep calling you. To fill everyone in. You don't even remember this?
No.
I see it every day. Okay, my laptop goes on a device that keeps it from touching my legs. I don't have it here. It's actually at my house. This is my studio. But it has a thing that slides out to mouse next to it. But it's from the company Max Smart. And every time I lift up my laptop, I see that and I hear Caveman Max telling me how intelligent he is. Max Smart.
It sounds like if I was the Hulk and I was trying to convince you I was smart. Max Smart. And by device, you mean just like a something for your lap, like keep your lap,
like a piece of plastic.
Yeah, like a piece of plastic. Okay.
But I interact with it. I probably make more physical contact with that thing than my phone every day.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day about either Rise or 8 Sleep was tracking my sleep, or like when I fell asleep and when I woke up. Mm-hmm. And for 8 Sleep, that makes sense because it has sensors in the mattress or whatever. But Rise, I was like, I mean, how do you know Rise? Like, whatever. And then I realized that the last thing I do before I go to bed is like take my phone away, that 1.5 inches away from my face and put it on my nightstand, turn off the light. And then the first thing I do in the morning, I'm like, phone, you know.
Yeah.
And so it really is, absolutely right on, when the
Hmm.
phone's like, yep, you fell asleep at 12:37 last night. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're absolutely right. Darn it.
Yep.
Darn it. You
Yep,
got
it
me.
did. You don't even have an excuse because your 8 sleep mattress wakes you up. So it's not like, oh, well, I have to grab my alarm to silence it. You
That's
grab your
true.
phone
I know
to
it's
see
really
what happened
bad.
on Instagram overnight, which is nothing. It's still exactly the same scroll.
Well, I get the East Coast feed. That's always
Yeah,
nice. That
that's
three
true.
hours of what's been going on over there. Updates on the Ukraine, obviously. My bed
That's
doesn't
not
even
good for
wake
your
me up.
brain when you first get up.
I know it's really bad.
I like to pack it in right before I go to sleep. That's way better. That's
Smart.
when I watch CNN. Is right
Oh my
before
God,
bed.
really? Ugh. I've started reading. I'm reading the Harry Potter books.
Oh, I started reading about the Ukraine. Like I can't watch the news anymore. I have to read articles.
Just a
The history of Ukraine.
just a short history of the Ukraine. Sounds really that'll put you right to sleep.
Hmm.
No, I
How's Harry
start.
Potter treating you?
It's okay. I crushed like 2 books in 2 days, and then Brittany was mad at me. Brittany loves Harry Potter. She's got a Harry Potter tattoo. It's like a whole thing.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow, that's a commitment to a story.
Actually, a pretty cool tattoo. It's on her foot, and it's across. It's like a strip. It's a quote, but it's in the shape of a strip, and that's where the ballerina strap of her ballerina shoe would go. Point shoe,
Cool.
ballet shoe.
Point
So
shoe
if
ribbon.
she
Yeah,
ever needed to cover it, or you know what I mean, be on stage and didn't want to show a tattoo, the stripe of the ribbon of the ballet shoe, point shoe, would cover it perfectly. I mean, that's pretty clever. I think that's kind
that
of
is
cool.
really cool.
It's like those people who have tattoos on their scalp or whatever, and then they grow their hair out. It's like
So
you
what?
and
You can
your
just shave a
upcoming
hole.
tattoo on your face.
I'm not picking face. I get to pick.
You don't get to pick anything. You get to suggest.
I get to suggest the location. Look, I know because I've watched this back. I watched the
Uh-huh.
agreement back multiple times to make sure that I'm not screwed.
What's the
And I'm
agreement?
screwed. If I don't get a muscle up, you get to tattoo whatever you want on me, and I get to pick the location.
I don't want a tattoo. I will pay someone to tattoo it. I don't trust my
Well, yes,
little
okay, obviously,
squiggly hand.
metaphorically speaking here. I mean, I'd let you do it, whatever.
Did you
That'd
ever
be
see that
fine.
interview with Margot Robbie and Tina Fey? They were trying to promote some movie and they were asking about tattoos or whatever, or Suicide Squad. And Margot Robbie goes, "Yeah, I gave people tattoos on set of Suicide Squad because I had a tattoo gun." And they were like, and I forget if it was Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel or somebody else. It might have been Colbert, but they both like stopped. Colbert stopped interviewing. They both interviewed Margot Robbie because they were like, "What? You tattooed people?" And they were like, "What did you tattoo?" And she goes, "Well, for the movie, all the stunt guys and like most of the cast, we got little tattoos that said Squad, SKWAD, because that was the." And then they were like, "Wow, that's cool." Anyway, and then Margot Robbie goes, "But I misspelled it my first one." And they were like, "You misspelled squad? What did you write?" And she was like, "Well, I meant to write SKWAD, but I forgot the K." And then they both were like, "So you wrote SWAD?" And then the whole audience was like horrified, and everyone was like, "This is insane." And then Tina Fey goes, "It's a good time to be pretty." It was just so brilliant. Oh, Tina Fey, so quick. You know what I mean? You're just like,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
dude, you're smart. You're funny. Like that was incredible. That was so incredible. So good. So anyway,
Ridiculous.
I don't think I want to tattoo you. Long story long, I will happily pay if any of the fitheads are tattoo artists or know of any artists. I'm happy
Oh,
to research that. I suppose you want to research a tattoo artist who specializes.
We don't need to do any
tattoo.
work on this. I'm going to get a muscle up.
Well, how close are you?
Not. I am negative close. I've been closer in my life, and I've been working on it for 39 days now.
Nice. What's your confidence level at? You only have 300 days left, 320. Where are we at now?
Something like
8 months,
that.
10 months?
No. 300 sounds like a lot. It does not feel like a lot. When January was over, I'm like, that's 1/12. February is almost over.
Hold on. Yep, it's a 12. Her math checks out, everybody. Just double check that.
I guess this will be my current struggle that we can talk about.
How are you? How's your struggles? Tell me everything. How can I help?
Well, this all came about because I initially did a video where I was going to get a muscle up. After 60 days, I still didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said, well, if you don't get it by the end of this year, blah, 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 blah.
I don't think
I went back.
First of all, dynamite impression of me, by
Thank
the way.
you.
Amazing.
I'm going to do one of these.
Let me think for a second. I think I was trying to help motivate you. I think I said something like, well, you know, if you had a deadline or if you had some horrible thing hanging over you.
I don't need a deadline. I had one and I missed it. I was working my butt off for the 30 days and then extended the deadline and worked my butt off for the 60. The deadline's not the issue. I can manufacture some BS any day. I post it at least 6 times a month on YouTube, manufactured by me. Anyway, I then went back to working on it, and I'd lost my 3 strict pull-ups and 4 or 5 strict dips. And it's because it was right after I had COVID.
Yeah.
And lost everything. So now I'm at, I think, 1 strict pull-up and a couple strict dips, but my range of motion is garbage. If I'm really fully pulling to where I need to, I can't get there. So I have 0.
Now, in fairness, you're doing ring, which is way more difficult than bar, in my opinion. Although, is that widely accepted, or is that just me?
I don't know, because bar feels a lot more like it's a gymnastic mind muscle connection kind of thing where you need to learn the movement. Ring feels like you just need to slog through getting the strength.
Because you're doing it
and then obviously
slow.
Also know the movement.
Yeah, it is odd.
Oh, and I'm doing it strict. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I don't have a place to practice bar muscle ups.
It's because I require
muscle
It's
ups.
because I require attention. It's the only reason anyone would do muscle up.
Right. Because I need to look cool in videos.
So the ring, are you getting stuck in the middle? Is that what's happening?
Well, okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I work on the middle with a band, so I can transition. Like, I know the movement, and it's starting to feel good. If anything, that's the good progress I've made, is that I've greased the chute is how it feels. What is that used in? I don't even know. That's
garbage chute? I don't know.
Oh, there's a term for it. Why is that used? Oh gosh, I should know before I say it.
It's a Google off. We're Googling. Gross. I don't think that's the one you're.
I think I spelled shoot wrong.
It's CH, isn't it? The greased chute. Doesn't it mean a garbage chute?
Yeah.
Or parachute?
Okay, I guess I've not. This is not a thing.
Whatever. You've prepped the. I mean, yeah.
How did I make that up?
Metaphor is not great because it really, you've lubed up the, what are we trying to say? I'm sorry.
That's why I was like, oh no, What does that actually mean?
Oh, yeah,
Nothing, apparently. Thank
some
goodness.
weird porn connotation that we have no idea about, like furries or whatever. And we're like, wait,
It's a
what? What
whole
did I say? Wait,
category.
hold on. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm getting that movement. The thing that's lacking is just strength, right? I just need to eat more,
Hmm. You know what it
probably
reminds me of
protein.
kind of is do you remember when we were doing the pole class with Leanne?
Yeah.
And there were moves that she would just do and it looked graceful and strong, obviously. And then I would
And easy.
try them and I'd be like, I can't even start, you know, like I can hold the pole kind of, but I can't, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like I was failing. It was like I am unequipped to even begin to fail.
Right. Right.
So maybe that's where you're at. You just got to build up a little bit of although the technique must be really important. So if you're getting that, I feel like that's good.
Yeah, I honestly feel as though I have the technique because I can, and I'll see it. I've been filming it this whole time, and I'll see that like I'm going through the motions correctly. It looks great, except that you can see that a band is helping me.
Except for that neon green band. Yeah, that's a little bit.
Hey, I've graduated to black now, so
Is that the
one step-
thinnest band?
No, the thinnest is red, and that is my nightmare.
I just bought a band from somewhere with my Apex Optimizer cred.
Ooh.
There was some sort of a utility drop, and they said, "Hey, do you need one of those big old rubber bands for? It's usually like $20, $30, and it was $1 because I am
That's a deal.
Apex Optimizer. Shout out to our Discord and our group and our sneaky little club, and I'm promoting it, but
We
don't
should
tell
do our
anybody,
own.
but
What
I'm
the heck?
promoting it.
When they told us about it, we should have immediately coded our own.
Super Apex.
Apex Optimizist.
Apex +1. Like Infinity +1 or whatever that was in grade
Infinity
school.
+1. That's funny. I took my first day of routine today.
How was it? I gotta do I'll do that tomorrow.
Optimized?
I got my new blood kit
Nice.
somewhere. So what do you do? How do you do it? You don't eat. You just wake up and stab yourself.
Wait, what? No.
How do you do the blood test?
Oh, you're doing the test. I got my vitamins already.
That's what I'm saying. I have to redo the blood test because I told you mine didn't work because I did the blood test wrong, I guess.
I don't know what you did wrong. When you sent me a picture, I was like, okay, so for this blood test to send into this vitamin company, if you're not familiar, check out our routine episode with Rachel Sanders. You have to send your blood, and it's not in a vial. It's not like what you would expect at a doctor's office. It's a card with dots, 4 big dots on it that you have to fill with blood from your finger. So you prick it kind of like you're getting a drop of blood to test your glucose, but it's a whole lot of blood.
And my desk was covered in blood. Brittany came in and was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm feeling great. I'm about to get optimized, vitamin supplements sent to me."
And you pass out. I filmed my experience doing the blood thing, actually, so that'll be coming out on my Fitness Outrageous channel. But when you sent me a picture of having done it, first of all, I didn't know that was a part of it. And so I just opened a picture of blood and was horrified. And second,
sorry,
you didn't fill the circle. I remember looking at it and being like, I don't even work for this company, and I know that's not enough.
I mean, it hurt. And I had a lot of blood everywhere. So maybe I was just a little tired of bleeding all over the place. But I got to do it again, so I'll do it again.
Yeah, good luck. Film it.
I talked to
do it now.
I talked to I forget who's, I think it was Lily, the other guy that works for routine, and she was like, "Yeah, you messed it up, you need to do it again." And I was like, "Well, I need my blood for a while because my foot is all jacked up." And so that's why I didn't do anything, because my foot was all screwy.
Great transition. Tell me about your struggle.
Thanks. It's a pro podcaster move. So my struggle was I would say maybe a month ago. Yeah, like the last week or so of January, I woke up and the back of my heel, my left heel, was just enormous, completely swollen, incredibly tender. I couldn't walk on it. I couldn't touch it. I couldn't do anything. It hurt so bad. It was huge. There's some way of describing, some medical way of they describe how swollen something is, and they say like if you can see, I forget what they're called, but the word is something like checkpoints, but it's not. It's like anchor points or something. So like you know how you have like a little bump on your edge of your wrist that you can see. If your wrist is swollen and you can't see it, that means that you can't identify the checkpoints. And so that's a way of saying it. You couldn't see any of my checkpoints on my ankle. My ankle, you know, there's a bone on the outside of your ankle. You couldn't see it. It was just a big balloon.
Just was awful. From toe to knee. Just
I was like a marshmallow, not a peg leg, but like a marshmallow leg. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and again, really... he's sending me photos, not expecting it, and then being horrified. Thanks, Max.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll transition over to like cooking photos or whatever normal people send each other. This is a nice souffle I made. You know, this is a bolognese. So anyway, I freaked out. What sucked, what I originally thought was it was an Achilles, because my whole Achilles was swollen. I couldn't walk on my foot. So I was like, well, you know, I tore it, or I ruptured it, or partially tore it, or whatever. Sure. Rupture means tore. Did you know that?
No, rupture sounds like an explosion. Like a geyser ruptures.
Does it?
Rupture just means tear?
Rupture means torn completely, and then partial tear means I think it's partial tear versus rupture, full rupture, or whatever.
Break or burst suddenly. See, that's what I think when it like burst forth with water, especially with a pipe. That's what it says.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But
an Achilles,
organ or membrane, for Achilles, I guess it just means
Achilles rupture means it's like totally, and then partial is a partial tear. Anyway,
can we describe to our listening audience what happens when you do rupture?
Oh yeah. It's like a rubber band that connects to the bottom of your heel. So when it completely tears, it like rolls up like a
snail shell,
like a snap bracelet.
Yeah,
it rolls up like that. It is, or you know, if you had a rubber band and you're holding a rock on the bottom of it, and you're holding a top, and you cut the rubber band, the top would like spring wildly up. There's this incredibly horrible video of Kevin Durant doing it, and you see it from the back of his leg, and you see it go because they do an ultra slow-mo because it was in the NBA finals. It's horrifying. Anyway, that's what I was, but nothing like that had happened to me. I didn't have a moment of a snap or a jump and I landed and I was like, hold on. I didn't have that moment of trauma. So I was a little confused. Right. So then I thought it was just inflamed or something, because I literally just woke up with it one day. But so I just started icing it, and I iced it for like 3 or 4 days, and I kept thinking it was getting better, and then it wasn't, and then it was, and it wasn't. And then, long story long, I finally got it looked at, and they were like, "This is a skin infection. This is not an issue with your Achilles tendon," because they tested the tendon. This is actually the worst. The worst of this whole thing is that there's an Achilles tendon test where they lay you on your stomach and they squeeze your calf like a balloon or whatever. And as they squeeze it, if your heel moves, because they're squeezing and it's connected, then they're like, oh, well, tendon's still intact, so you're good. That's it. That's the test. So anyway, they were squeezing my calf. Calf was fine. I had a small cut on the back of my heel, and I thought it was from my sneaker. Or then I was really in trouble, because then I went down a rabbit hole of looking up spider bites and scorpion stings and insect bites that get infected, and don't look that up. Don't look that up if you're alone and it's 2:00 in the morning and your foot hurts real bad and you're just sitting there Googling stuff on your iPhone. That was a horrible night for old Max. So anyway, I started taking one antibiotic. It didn't work. I started taking another one. It started to kind of work. And so I finished 2 rounds of antibiotics. And now it's like it's fine-ish. I can walk now. It's not nearly as swollen, but it's still swollen, and it still hurts if I push right on the
Damn.
spot. So I have no a clue what's going on with my foot, but I got an X-ray, and they said the bone is fine, and it didn't look like there was an infection in the bone, which would have been really, really bad.
Terrifying.
But yeah, it really, really, really sucks, and it was scary, and it was frustrating, and I was just laying with my foot sort of horizontal. They say keep it elevated. The reason they say keep it elevated was that you want blood flow as easy as possible. And so if your blood has to, if your cardiovascular system, whatever, your heart, lungs, your heart, veins, arteries, if they have to push blood up and down fighting gravity, it's more difficult than if you're one horizontal thing. It's easier for the blood to get pushed around like that. So that's why you don't like want it elevated. You just want it like on the same plane as your hips, essentially.
Got it. Yeah.
And in a perfect world, your heart as well. But that's kind of annoying. So yeah, I just sat with my foot up. I started playing Fortnite for the first time in my life.
I was thinking guitar for some reason.
It's so lame, and I'm gaming. I bought a headset because I'm so bored. It was awful.
Wow.
I couldn't do anything, and I didn't have a lot of energy. I did have a lot of energy in the beginning, and then once it all got sort of sucked out of me, I didn't have any energy at all. I had that walking boot so I can move around a little bit. So a couple times I went down and I tried to do some workouts, but even still, even upper body stuff, no energy, no strength. I was wiped. I wasn't sleeping very well because the pain was so bad. It was brutal. Would not recommend if you can at all. Try it. I got a bunch of new socks.
Like avoid it though, but it's not like you did anything. It seems like it just came out of nowhere.
I think so. I think what happened was I got a new pair of shoes, and I wear really low ankle socks, and the new shoe like sort of rubbed against my ankle, and then somehow it just got infected. And then I thought it was an Achilles issue, so I didn't really fight it for 4 or 5 days, and so the infection was like, wow, this is great. I can go anywhere.
Super welcoming in here.
And so I think what happened was my body was sort of fighting it to a standstill, essentially. But the antibiotics eventually started to help. It just didn't help nearly as quickly as I would have liked.
Yeah, I can't believe you're still dealing with it.
I know, it's pretty scary actually, because it just came out of nowhere. And for I've had serious injuries before, but mostly I knew what happened.
Yeah, and you can at least blame yourself.
I shouldn't have jumped off that bridge, or I shouldn't have had that guy wrench my knee the wrong way, or I shouldn't have fallen on my shoulder, catch my weight on my hands 200 times in a row, or you know what I mean. But this one was just like out of nowhere. It was crazy, really scary.
So how long have you gone without working out?
I just restarted working out, I think essentially this week. So I'm now at let me see. I'm at 3 days in a row now, as of the 4 days today. So I'm 4 days in a row. But all of January, I worked out almost every single day. I was in a really good rhythm, really good routine. But then January 18, donezo. And then until February 19. So I would get ones in and out just to do something, but I didn't have any energy, didn't have any strength. It was really pathetic. And it was also it was a little bit fun because I was in the air cast or whatever and just doing pull-ups. That was really funny, I thought. Yeah. But it was also like, I think part of it is you don't really want to overextend your body at all. You want to be like resting as much as possible so your heart can just shove as much blood in there, and then the blood can take all the gunk out of there, and then you know what I mean.
Right, sure. Your immune system takes energy, and you're not giving it to it.
So yeah, I learned a couple of things. One, if you're going to ice your ankle, the ice packs are not as good. You should go to 7-Eleven and get one of those little styrofoam coolers and just dump some ice in there, stick your whole foot in it. Much, much better way to ice your foot. It was like an ice bath, but just
for your
my
foot.
foot.
Did you learn to talk to a doctor sooner?
That would have been good. Yeah. I think, I mean, I don't really know. I went in as sort of not as quickly as humanly possible. Not like if I was on a football NFL team or whatever, but I thought I had a good idea and I tried something, and a couple of days later it wasn't good. So then, that's when I checked it out.
Fair.
But I will say that looking at something in person, having somebody look at it in person versus on Zoom or whatever, I think that
or
does
text
sort of
message.
Text message was a bad one. But
Well, I could get to see it in person too. Whenever we did a duo episode.
well, by then I think I was okay. Yeah. Or was I on a
You were on
Aircast?
antibiotics at that point. Yeah, you had just started.
Crazy though, they work. But the other one, like even yesterday, it's still sore. So I did a leg day yesterday, and so it was a little tricky because I didn't really want to do anything with too much of an ankle flexion or so I did like Romanian deadlift instead of regular deadlift. I didn't do split squats. Luckily I have the cable machine, so I velcroed my ankle and I did a lot of kickbacks and hamstring curls and we don't have a leg press. Or we have a leg press, but we don't have a leg extension machine. That would have been perfect. Yeah. But I will say there's a lot of good info out there. You just have to you end up Googling like oddly specific terms like ankle injury leg workout. How?
Yeah, right.
Because like ankle injury workout, you get a lot of physical therapy exercises. That's not what I want. I want to crush legs, but not move my ankle, so it was a little bit of a funny deep dive there, but the cable machine worked out really well. And it was just really scary. It still is kind of scary. I don't know what happened,
Right.
And,
no, I know. And it feels like you can't account for it in the future. That's what I was saying about, you could blame yourself, and it makes you feel like you have control because then you know what to do so it doesn't happen again. But
Right. And how sort of fragile I am, this was like a little cut on my, I'm very strong except for this one sort of very small point of weakness that happens to be my Achilles.
So good. It's so good.
Yeah.
Ooh,
it was really fun. What really sucked is I actually end up flying also, and that really, really sucks.
The pressure when it was in plane?
The air pressure. And I was hooked up. Shout out to whatever it's called, Delta.
You're like, shout out to
whoever they were.
Our sponsor.
The lady at the gate who saw me in the boot and was like, I'm putting you in a better seat, and I'm actually sneaky giving you your whole row. And
great time to be pretty.
As comfortable as I was as comfortable as I could possibly have been, and it hurt so bad. It was just pulsing. It's just the pressure at that elevation. Your hands and your feet expand anyway.
You were already in pain. Wow, yeah, that sucks.
It's brutal.
Your fam better appreciate you.
Yeah. Well, it worked out for everybody so far. Knock on wood. Hopefully I can walk pretty soon.
Yeah, you're on your way back. And you didn't have to not drink with me on your birthday, so thank goodness.
I know, thank goodness. I didn't, it's funny, I didn't sit at home and get like depression drunk as much as I thought I would have. I would have predicted totally. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I just sort of sat at home. I tell you what I did do. I depression ate cookies a lot. That was my
what goes with Fortnite.
Yeah, exactly. Mom, where's your Mountain Dews?
Yikes.
Anyway, I'm on the mend. That was my struggle.
Glad to hear it.
You know what else is cool
You're on
too?
your way up. My struggle is just south.
Yeah,
Rather than like this.
yours is real tough. One thing I did like was a lot of people on Instagram DM'd me pictures and video of their horrific Achilles injuries. Which was a weird sort of bonding moment for me and some people, I guess.
Yeah.
And shout out to anyone who's ever had to deal with that. It sounds incredibly awful. And I was, I guess I dodged a bullet in theory, but yeah, I saw some gross pictures. But growing up, we got the New England Journal of Medicine in our household, and that was just like pages and pages of horrible injury photos.
Wow.
So I wouldn't.
It's like a terrible Google that you don't even have to think of what to Google.
Yeah,
it's just,
you're just walking by the dining room table and you're like, oh my God. Anyway, spaghetti. Okay.
Wow. Well, do you feel like you've lost some leg power? Where are your numbers
big time
now?
I feel like I've lost everything power. Taken off. Well, I mean, whatever that was, 4 weeks, a month, maybe. Didn't we say that it's 1 week off is worth 2 weeks on or something like that? Isn't that what it is?
What? No, you're supposed to take a week off. I just took a week off because Brian programmed deload.
Well,
if anything, I was thinking when you're like, you took a month off, I was like, well, if you've been training your whole life, a month off is just sort of a year deload. You know what I mean? A deload compared to that.
I did 11
chunk.
months in a row and I took a deload month.
Yeah.
It's a great way of looking at it. I really like that.
John Call talks about this a lot, Juji Mufu, where he periodizes his workouts in a way where he'll be like, okay, I'm going to work on acrobatics, and he'll just do that and forget about powerlifting, or, really put that in the background. And then he'll get really good at that. And then period where he works on powerlifting. And so it dropped a little in his power, but then you'll get it right back. And now you were an incredible powerlifter and an incredible aerialist. But also, I mean, he's like a absolute anomaly in terms of being impressive at everything.
He reminds me of, you remember Beast from the X-Men?
I mean, no, because I'm not a nerd.
Wow. Mm-hmm. You think knowing stuff about comic books is nerdy now? That may have been the case in 1999, but in today, knowing stuff about comic books is the coolest thing you could possibly.
Cool. This is twice now because you brought up Spider-Man earlier. Ugh.
I know, you got some catching up to do.
Anyway, Juji Mufu has talked about taking winters off.
Oh wow,
winter. Yeah.
Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah, you're fine. If anything, you're going to come back stronger.
I have changed my routine quite a bit as I'm coming back now. So instead of, I was doing the classic bro 3 or 4 sets of 8 to 10, very difficult at the what is it, 1 to 0 R's. Now I start a lot lighter and I do whatever I can do, 20, 25 reps. And then I just keep working my way up until I go to about 10-ish reps. Does that make sense?
Pyramid.
Yeah. So I've been doing that, starting way, way lighter and just doing a lot more. It feels great. It feels really nice.
Huh.
And I still, I'm tired at the end. So I feel like that's a pretty good gauge of how well I'm doing.
It's working. Yeah.
But that being said, I'm 4 days in, so who knows?
Yeah, right.
Who knows how well it's working or how long that's going to stay.
Yeah, I'm just, because I just had a deload, which, by the way, I'm looking at the workouts and they're much less. And so I'm like, cool, I can fit in more muscle up practice, which means I didn't actually deload because I wake up like so sore, fitting more stuff in. But now he's moving to metabolite training. So I'll be doing really high, like you were talking about, 20.
Yeah.
And back-to-back things. So it'll be squat and then deadlift and then goblet squat. And they do them all in a row to just wreck you. That seems like the point is to get the pump. And I'm still having trouble fitting that in with the trying to not fail at this challenge.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's not one of those things where you can do like a day. It's much better for you to do a little bit every day.
Yeah, that's what I've learned with gymnastics. It's that
Yeah.
the more you're hitting the skill, but that means I have to recover faster, right? So now there's a day or two between me doing it again, but that's significantly less than if I was doing a chest day and I only pushed and did dips on Tuesdays. Sorry,
Right.
just kidding. Mondays. It's always chest days Monday, right?
Just is always Monday. But then if you do push, pull, legs, push, you can do push again on Thursday.
Right. Well, a traditional chest day would be a 5-day split, right? Because you'd be chest, back, shoulders, legs,
arms,
biceps.
I guess. Yeah.
So kind of like 2 pulls and 2
Bis
pushes.
and tries and yeah.
So whatever, I'll figure it out. Oh, and I'm starting back with my backflip training. I emailed my one-on-one coach, and he's
why don't you just
they're
get
opened up from COVID.
Just sign up for a gymnastics class with all the other 9-year-olds and just
Oh, right.
dominate.
So I did that. There's 9-year-olds F you. Get out. I signed up for the beginner parkour thing. I'm like, I don't want to jump over walls. I don't care about any of that. I have these 2 very specific things I want to do. And that's when I first signed up with my one-on-one coach. I emailed and was like, hey, I don't want to learn all the stuff to lead up to it. Can you teach me how to backflip? And he's like, you'd be surprised how often I get this email. And yes, I can.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of people are dying to show off.
We're in LA. It's we all have Instagram.
It's true.
So yeah, and then I emailed Brian being like, I don't want to go through all the other garbage. Can you teach me to muscle up? And he's like, you're actually, he was approving of the
tattoo.
I hate you so much. The tactics I was using and how I was fitting it in with my programming. So maybe I'll stick to that and see if I can see more gains. But man, it is so slow.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating not being able to see tangible improvement. That's why the machines are so great, or even the dumbbells.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I was doing 20s last week. I did 25s this week. You know what I mean? It's such, even something like that. I think just people want to think that they're improving in some way. Even if the momentum or the rate at which they're improving is very, very slow or whatever.
Right. And the more I'm Googling about gymnastics programs, everyone's like, yeah, it's really slow. It takes a while to get these freaking skills.
And you're like, well, I have 10 months. So
yeah.
I also want to see this in person. I don't want you to send me like a heavily edited TikTok where like you go like this and the screen just like rotates around because someone moved the phone or whatever.
Or my hair's all looking weird going backwards because I'm playing it in reverse. No, I obviously imagine this will be that I invite you to my place under some other secret guise that we're going to go drink or whatever. And then I surprise you with a muscle up.
And then I surprise you and I'm already drunk. What a lovely surprise that will be. I hope so. I think it'll probably take you July. I bet by 4th of July you're in good shape because then you'll have your socks and you'll have your stupid red, white, and blue outfit or whatever you'll do.
Oh,
yeah. That'll be good content. That's a good motivator for you.
I'm thinking December 31st, and I am sweating and crying in the gym. Just
and I got one of the I got the party hat and one of those things.
You're counting down like
5, 4.
Their tattoo artist is cleaning his gun.
Happy New Year. And then you nail it right at the buzzer. That'll be a great New Year's party. I'm so glad you already started planning it. That's fun.
Yeah. My gym. Well, speaking of, I need to get back to my struggle now. It's getting late and I need to go muscle up.
You need to muscle up.
Yeah.
Have you tried muscling down?
Yes. Also called negatives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that part of it? That's got to be
Yeah.
part of it.
I do it, especially on days when I'm fried and I still, want to wreck myself and never improve. We'll do negatives.
Negatives are the epitome of what I was talking about earlier, where it like doesn't feel like you're improving at all, and in fact, it feels like you're somehow making it worse. But I will say that in the long run, studies have shown, and even my anecdotal evidence shows that negatives end up going a long, long way if you're good about them. But who wants to do them? Because they're so boring. You know what I mean? That's what's hard. They're so blah.
And it's how I burn out at the end, right? So I'll put work into pulling, pushing, transition, and then just completely fry myself. And that might actually be dumb, which is why I was looking for some one-on-one, because then I'm not recovered fast enough to work on it again. So I'm screwing myself by going too hard, which I
remember plateauing on pull-ups pretty hard. And the negatives weren't working, and more pull-ups wasn't, I could get to, I forget it was, I'd say 8. I could get to 8, and then that was it. I was done. I couldn't, and it was, months or whatever. And then I started doing weighted, and it was crazy improvement.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I could only do 2 or 3, whatever, weighted. If, my max was 8, I was trying to get past 8, couldn't get past 8. I did weighted 2 or 3, and within a couple of weeks, I was up at like 9, 10. It's a steady improvement after that.
Nice.
So maybe try that if you're stuck.
You have to get one pull up before you do weighted pull ups. That's the problem.
But you can do weighted negatives. You can do the weighted partials. Negatives.
Interesting. Yeah. I'll just get fatter.
Just have somebody like hug your back while you're doing it, koala style. I could do. I'm happy to help if you want me to.
I'm not hiring you as coach. Get out.
Because I'll be whispering in your ear like, "You'll never get it. You'll never get it."
Here comes the dolphin.
What's up, dolphin face?
Which, by the way, for anybody who missed the episode where he challenged me, he's claiming it may or may not be a dolphin.
I think a great tattoo that Spags you should get is a dolphin on your face. A dolphin doing a muscle up, maybe like on your neck. So it's like as the dolphin's muscled up, he's like on your cheek a little.
Yeah, he's using my collarbone as the bar.
Oh, that's really good. And a lot bigger than I thought. But yeah, I'm down for sure.
Get out.
Just a mural. Just I love that. That's so good. Hey, it'll be a great excuse for you to take your shirt off some more, Spags. I know you're looking for any excuse to
to show off my sweet dolphin.
My sweet face torso tattoo.
Face dolphin.
My face, neck, and torso tattoo. Classic.
All right.
Well, good luck. I hope if I can help you with your struggles, please let me know. Yeah,
ditto. Feel free to send me more recovery pics of a less fat ankle.
Thank you. Feel free to send me a new tendon. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And let us know about your current struggles, fitheads. Tell us in the comments. What are you going through? COVID problems still? I feel like that might be a thing.
COVID exercise is brutal.
It's rough. Booster exercise even? What are we dealing with? Ooh, can't wait to talk about that.
I know. Psyched.
All right. And if you can rate and review on Apple Podcasts, that helps us out a whole lot. And we'll see you next week.